are listening to the India Chalo podcast, a platform where we bring travelers from all over the world to talk about their journeys across India, to discuss their trysts, their adventures with the people, the food, the culture, the heritage, and so much more. To give you, our listeners, a sneak peek into what India has to offer for your next trip. Stay tuned. Hello there, fellow travelers. Namaste and welcome to a brand new episode of the India Chalo podcast. I am your host Rohan. I am very excited to bring this new episode to you. This is episode 2 of season 2 of the India Chalo podcast. I am super excited to roll out this new season for you because we are going to brand new places, brand new travelers, brand new stories and brand new experiences. So I'm very excited to hear your take on it, on your feedback, and also learn about your experiences in these places as well. So do leave us a message anytime you feel like talking to us. I am here to respond. I am here to learn more about your experiences. So today we are going down south. We don't do that very often on the India Chalo podcast, but today we are going down south to the very vibrant place that is Vizag in Andhra Pradesh. And my guest today is Abu Shadab. Abu is a HR professional by day, and outside of work you'll find him changing his cloak and becoming a YouTuber, Toastmaster, event coordinator, author, fitness enthusiast, and so much more. He really is the epitome of jack of all trades. We talk about his experience in Vizag with respect to the beaches, the caves, the mountains, the submarine, the food, and his experiences with the people in Vizag. It was a wonderful time for me to learn about Abu's experience because he talks so passionately about his interactions with the people there, and clearly it left an impact on him. I hope you enjoy this conversation as much as I did. And without further ado, I bring to you Abu Shadab. I am here with Abu Shadab. Abu, welcome to the India Chalo podcast. Super excited to have you here, and can't wait to get going on your journeys into India. I have known you for quite some time, but for listeners who are listening in for the very first time, introduce yourself in your own words. Tell us where you're from, what do you do, and what brings you here today.
Thank you so much, Rohan. First and foremost, thank you so much. I really apologize for not showing up last week, but again, I cannot miss this golden opportunity with Rohan. The reason why I came here is because of Rohan, and I have seen your dedication and commitment, and I would always love to be associated with people who are amazingly awesome. And when you are with superhumans, they always sprinkle some part of their superhuman on you as well. So I would like to go ahead and get some of those hardworking qualities. So I'm originally from Darjeeling, and 16 years ago, I came to Delhi. I'm an HR professional, so that's what I do for a living, and I'm very happy with my job as an HR professional. Learning and development is my area of specialization. Apart from that, I'm a YouTuber. I'm a fitness freak, and I'm a Toastmaster. That's something that we have a lot in common. And podcast is another thing that I'm very excited about. I start my day with podcast. So that is something that keeps me glued to this concept of podcast. When it comes to traveling, one of my cousins had once mentioned that, till the time you don't break a bread with somebody, you would never come to know about that person.
Yeah.
And externally, when you look at us, we are all different. But when you speak to one another, you understand we are so similar. Another very important thing about traveling, especially, when we travel anywhere, you realize how small you are.
Yeah.
When you are in your field, it's only when you look at the big mountains and you need to go for the mountains that you realize how tiny you are. It's only when you see this humongous blue ocean, blue sea, you realize you're just a dot.
Yeah.
And that keeps you grounded, that keeps you humbled. And the moment you meet different people, coming from different walks of life, there is so much to learn. And every time you come back, it's such a refreshing feel. And wow, I am so happy to be back.
Amazing. Wonderfully said, Abu. And I echo your thoughts because I am also looking forward to this interview because you are a superhuman to me, and your energy is really infectious, and I can't wait to dive into this conversation. I didn't know you were from Darjeeling because half my family is from Darjeeling. So that's something we should say for another time. But tell us what got you into traveling in the first place? What led to that spark? Already mentioned what travel means to you, but tell us when it all started and how you kept it going.
So I'm very thankful once again. One of the reasons why I love being part of the HR is I get to travel a lot. So
Right.
most of my traveling, 90% of my traveling comes from my organization. And when your organization is paying for your food, for your accommodation, for everything, there is nothing more you want in life. So,
That's the best kind of travel.
that's the best kind of travel. The company takes care of everything.
Yeah.
And, whatever you do is part of your experience. And as trainers, we have to give them a lot of examples. So the more we explore, the more authentic examples we can give, the more colorful, rich examples that you give. So when you have to train someone and when you go, so for instance, if I'm training in Manila, I will have my own set of experience. And the moment I go ahead and I share it with people, they will have that, wow, that's a good experience. Mumbai, I went to Mumbai. Mumbai is a place where I always go and travel. I'm really fascinated by the people. And when I tell them about what happened with me, and then when I narrate it back, I'm trying to not exactly mock, but when I try to imitate their accent, they find it funnier. And it's amazing. So everything is a part of learning, everything, because I love learning and traveling is a great way to learn.
Amazingly said. And that's absolutely true. And it also expands just perspective of, what you think of the world. So that's wonderfully said. So, Abu, where are you taking us today, and tell us which place are we going through in this conversation?
Absolutely. And now, before I go ahead and talk about this particular place, I remember this guy. His name is Sai. Okay. So when I joined my current organization where I've been working for the past 10 years, so the day I joined, 3 days after I joined, this guy, he comes to me and he tells me with a very warm smile that we haven't been introduced. My name is Sai. I take care of my quality. And I assume you are one of the trainers here. And I felt really warm. Later, I realized Sai is from Visakhapatnam, that is Vizag.
Wow.
So, that the moment, so every time I think about Visakhapatnam, for some reason, I always have this guy Sai in front of me, a very lively, a very nice human soul, or somebody whom you can always connect to.
Yeah.
So we are going to speak more in detail about the jewel of the East Coast, or the city of destiny, as they call it.
Amazing. Can't wait, because it's one of the most popular places, I would say, and also the least talked about. When you look for it online, you'll find very very niche and offbeat information on it. So I'm really looking forward to hear your take on Vizag. So tell us, why did you decide to go there? You mentioned your colleague Sai at work, but tell us what drew you to Vizag in the first place.
So again, it was because of my organization.
Okay.
We had this, I had to deliver a set of trainings out there and I had some ample time. So I ensured that I'm traveling there, I'm delivering my sessions. At the same time, whatever time I have available, I was exploring the city as well.
Yeah.
And the best part was most of the time when I travel all alone. So, I would not prefer to have a guide is good, but I would like to go there raw, just go there, meet people and speak their language, just making an effort. So that was the reason. Vizag was there and it was such an amazing trip. A rather very peaceful trip.
Vizag. Okay. I was pronouncing it incorrectly. Okay. Vizag. So what time of the year did you visit, and tell us about what the weather was like when you were there, and what would you recommend our travelers to do in terms of which part of the year they should visit and what is the weather they should expect? Tell us more about that.
So it's hot. Vizag is hot. I have to tell you this. I went there in the month of October 2019 and it was hot. I would suggest November, December becomes pleasant when it comes to weather. So that's one of the things. Otherwise, throughout the year, it's very hot. Vizag.
Oh, throughout the year, it's hot. Okay.
Throughout the year, it's hot.
Okay. So let's go through an itinerary together and talk about how many days should a traveler keep to, explore Vizag, and, tell us the things to do in terms of places to visit, food, travel. So let's go step by step. How many days would you recommend someone to visit Vizag for?
One of the things which is very important is what kind of a traveler are you? And it is very important that when you travel, especially places like Vizag, they have a lot of other areas nearby as well. So Vizag becomes a hub and you can travel to a lot of nearby areas as well. I would suggest 3 to 5 days is ideal time for you to explore the city, as well as there are places surrounding it. So that's one of the things that I would always suggest.
Okay, so which are these places? Can you name a few? Like
absolutely,
off the top of your mind, what comes to it?
The first one will always be Ramakrishna Beach.
Oh wow!
So Ramakrishna Beach is amazing. Yeah. It's beautiful. So one of the things about Vizag is it has mountains and it has beaches. Amazing. So, this is such a great, awesome combination for a place. And you are absolutely correct. It's currently not that commercialized. Mm-hmm. And it has its own pros and it has its own cons. And one of the pros is because it is not that commercialized, everything is the way it is. So you can just go and blend in. And you can see, when it is commercialized, a lot of things takes a toll. But when it is raw, you definitely get to explore that. So the first place, it will always be Ramakrishna Beach. The reason, because every day I used to go, it was very close. Everything is very close. And I used to go for a run. So that run, and on the Ramakrishna Beach, we have got this INS submarine. And they have this museum in a submarine. So that's a beautiful experience. So that particular... when you take a run in that particular beach, because it is rocky, you're not allowed to swim or something, but you can definitely enjoy the beach. It's the 5th busiest ports in India.
Get it.
So Ramakrishna is one. The second one is something that I loved is every day from my hotel, I used to have this view of a range of mountains. And I realized it is Kailashgiri.
Okay.
Kailashgiri. And the way Hollywood is written, so whenever you are traveling and whenever they show you Las Vegas, you have got Hollywood written on the mountains. Similarly, Kailashgiri is written. Wow. And when you can see it right outside, you always have this dream that one day I'll go to this place. I have to go to this place. So Kailashgiri is another point that a person should be. Ramakrishna Beach and Kailashgiri. And from Kailashgiri, it's again another monument. You have this ropeway, which is a beautiful way to have the complete panoramic view of the entire city.
Wow, incredible. And that's Kailashgiri was visible from your hotel, is it? Which hotel were you staying in?
I can't recall the name, but it's a huge, the best part is because it is mountains. So even if you are staying in a 2-story or 3-story, and if it has got a view, you will get the view. It is not that crowded as of now.
Amazing.
So even if you stay in a 2-star or 3-star or a 4-star property as well, you can easily get a view from there.
Amazing. So when people ask beaches or mountains, so you have an answer to both. It's Vizag.
Yes, and that's the best part. Yeah. It has the best of both the worlds.
Absolutely. Amazing. So let's walk through an itinerary of what you would do for 3 to 5 days. So walk us through each day and what you would expect to do in terms of, let's say, places to visit. You may already mention 2 places, but let's go beyond that in terms of what other places can travelers frequent in Vizag.
Absolutely. So again, if you are somebody who likes to explore wild animals, so there's this nice zoo which is there, and you get this particular feeling of safari out there. It is from some distance from Vizag, but it is easily completed. So I would suggest that you need to try the zoo. The other thing is there's this beautiful Hindu temple. And especially when you go into Hindu temples, one of the things that you would always admire is the architecture. It's beautiful. And just by looking at any kind of statue or the way it has been done, you can understand the kind of dedication. That's one of the things. And patience. Because you understand it was nothing called a machine, Yeah. There has to be one person who has just been able to create all of these amazing statues. So if that is something that I love to see those statues, because I love the kind of dedication. Which reminds me of something which is very important is once there was this sculpture and he was making a statue. Wow. And his work got extended. Mm-hmm. And when his work got extended, and that particular statue was supposed to be kept at a very far away place. And his got extended. And then the owner comes once again and he says, have you still not completed? He says, no, I have still not completed. I need to redo it again. And he's like, why do you need to redo? He says that, can you not see there is this little cut out here? So I need to ensure that it is there. But he says, who will even notice? It will be there and nobody can notice. And this is what the sculpture had to say. I will notice. It is most of the time, and it is motivating when it comes to our work as well. For an untrained eyes, they would not be able to look at that particular imperfection. But for you, if it is there, it's important to redo it, and at least then you get that satisfaction.
Absolutely.
And whatever you do, it becomes a habit. So that was one of the stories that I really liked out there. That
That's beautiful.
okay, my God, this is like next level of commitment. So that's one of the places. You have a lot of caves out there. So if caves is something that interests you, you have to. The highlight will always be Ramakrishna Beach and the INS Submarine.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. So you've talked about a lot of places to visit in terms of culture, exploring caves, beaches, mountains, and so on and so forth. In terms of food, is there any specialty of Vizag, of the food that they can expect to eat?
Absolutely. If you are a seafood lover, they have this. And for me, who literally loves biryani, the Hyderabadi, because obviously it's Andhra Pradesh, and the biryani, it was amazing. Amazing is the word. So if you are a biryani lover, you have to try that. If you're a seafood lover, especially when I talk about prawns and all, it's an amazing, you get an amazing platter, and it's extremely pocket friendly. So prawns, which is very expensive in other parts of the world, when it comes to that particular place, it's extremely economical. So seafood and biryani.
Awesome. Okay, that sounds amazing. In terms of traveling, like within the city or to all the places that you mentioned, is it all easily accessible? Like, can you do something, or can you take public transportation? What did you use to travel while you were there?
Oh, I've got a very interesting. I used to always take Uber Moto, and it's very convenient because now they have started getting traffic as well. But if you are traveling alone, Uber Moto is best. It's very economical. That's another very important thing. So what used to happen was every day. Another thing is almost everybody knows how to speak in English. Mm-hmm. So if you know English as a language, even if they cannot understand, they can speak broken English. So that communication is never a problem. Mm-hmm. What I always love to do is whenever I go to any place, I would like to pick up some of their languages and speak to them. I feel good about it. Learning language has always been. So Telugu is the language that is spoken. So every day I used to speak in English, and I always used to get my. But one day I thought I'll speak in Telugu. Mm-hmm. And I could speak in English, even if that person struggles, that person would. But when I spoke in Telugu, that person did not understand, and he went away. So I said, no, I am not made for Telugu. I have to go back to speaking in English.
Okay. But I think that's the best way to immerse yourself in a particular place and understand. Yeah, absolutely. Speaking a local language has its own benefits too. So thanks for sharing that story. So you spoke a bit about speaking the local language, but tell us any experiences about interacting with the people there, with the localites there. Talk about some of the experiences there.
Absolutely. That's so again, this, my manager and I, we used to go on this Ramakrishna Beach every day for our morning run. And there was this coconut seller. He used to sell coconut water primarily. So my manager asked the one with cream. Okay. And he says, okay, let me find. And I suppose it was 20 rupees, 30 rupees. He's tried, but the cream was not there. We paid. Now this person, he insisted, he tried a couple of more, and he eventually found the cream and he gave it to us. So we were about to pay him for that extra coconut that he tried. He was not ready to take. He said, and this person, he is barefoot, wearing a towel around, and he has this amazing smile on his face, and he's not ready to take that money. We are trying to tell him that, trust me, it does not matter. This 100 rupees does not matter. Please take it. And he says, no, that's my fault that I was not able to give you, right at the first go, I was not able to give you that cream coconut. And I was absolutely moved. So that's very nice to have such. And he was so happy. Now, when you look at people, you would understand their life is difficult, So when you look from down, you feel that, okay, he's barefoot. He just is wearing a cloth around his waist. He must be. But when you move up, you look at this amazing satisfaction and happiness, and you will get jealous that, oh my God, how on earth is this person so happy with what he has?
That's so good to know. And I think that comes as a relief to many travelers listening, because they can expect very happy, helpful people when they go over there. So thanks for sharing, Abu.
And generally, people are a little, especially if you come from Delhi, we have crossed the level of extrovertism.
Yeah.
So whenever they used to see me talking, and it comes very easy. if you are from Delhi, to speak to people out there. It's a little, because they're a little introvert and a little shy. For them to get out of their comfort zone is a little difficult. But yes, eventually they do.
Awesome. That's great. Okay, so we have talked a lot about the places to visit, the food, the people, and so much more about your experience in Vizag. So, Abu, tell us, this is a rapid fire round. Tell us the top three things, the top three highlights that we absolutely should not miss if we go to Vizag.
Seafood, morning stroll or evening stroll on Ramakrishna Beach, and INS Museum.
Amazing. Awesome. So it's a combination of many different diverse things. You could go from seafood to beaches to submarine. So that's an amazing mix. Great. So you mentioned a few tips about travelers who want to visit Vizag, but tell us something, any more advice you have in mind for travelers, as they go about exploring Vizag, any particular things that are local to Vizag that they should keep in mind?
Absolutely. So it was something extremely new that I found. As per their customs, you will find a set of people, they are wearing complete black and they are barefoot. So they are wearing black trousers, black shirt. So you'll have such people. You will also have people wearing all green, all blue, all orange, and they are barefoot. And even at work, they come that way. And that is perfectly fine. So it becomes a little difficult because out here, we are expected to wear footwears when you come to work, but they will come to work as well barefoot. Wow. So that was very surprising because, it was like, you could see group of people wearing all black, group of people wearing all green, all white. So that is one of the customs. And that's how they are. They will walk barefoot and they will enter any place barefoot. So that's one of the things that was very unique that I realized.
So is it like a ritual there that, travelers have to keep in mind, or is it a tradition that, only locals are expected to follow?
Only locals. It is only for the locals.
Okay.
My only thing will be to learn a little bit of Telugu, which is again very important, and to do your research. There are places, before you go, there are also places that you should be conscious about, especially odd hours. So wherever you travel, please ensure that when it comes to, if you're looking any kind of transportation, so at times even Uber, Ola, it's not there and you are completely dependent upon a public transport. So anywhere that you decide, so within Vizag, it's fine. But if you're going to nearby places, and if you are, if the stay gets extended, you need to be conscious about, will you be getting a transport back? Or if you are going to stay there, is there an accommodation available? Because, Vizag people can speak in English, everything is sorted. Yeah. But the moment you go a little off the coast, Vizag, you will come across people who only speak and understand Telugu. So that can be a little problem for non-Telugu speakers.
Okay, that's very interesting to know and helpful to know. Thank you so much for that. So, Abu, thanks so much for coming on to the India Chalo podcast. It was wonderful having you here and hearing about your experience in Vizag. Clearly, it's a place that's very close to you. And I'm sure a lot of our travelers are looking forward to visiting there. But before we come to the end of the podcast, I have two questions for you. First is, I know we are in the middle of a pandemic, but are you daydreaming about any places that you would like to visit once the dust is settled? Any particular places you have in mind for your next trip?
That would possibly be international this time. So that's one of the long waits. I'm traveling to Darjeeling back home. And unfortunately, from March, it's as if the office will reopen. So, traveling to office from Delhi to Gurgaon, if that is also considered as traveling, that's one of the things. So going back to office will be traveling. Yes, that's there. And nearby in the month of March, I'm also traveling back home, Darjeeling. And I'll make an effort to explore a lot of places close to Darjeeling as well. So that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to do.
Awesome. That's great. And where can travelers keep up with their adventures? Like if they want to reach you or learn more about your trips, tell us which social media channels are you on. I know you have a blog as well and YouTube channel as well. So tell us where can travelers reach you.
So they can certainly find me on Instagram. That is Abu Shadab 003. Having said that, when I travel and I try to keep my social media consumption extremely limited. Rather than following me, why don't you go and explore the place? And it's a beautiful saying that you climb the mountain not for the world to see you, but for you to see the world. So another thing is investing so much time in social media, taking at times that the entire essence, when you live the moment, completely disappears when everything is only for social media. And I understand people travel for social media. So you might miss a lot of beautiful things. So my only thing is go be a part of it and live the moment. And that's very important. You do not need, God has created this amazing brain and you can click photos with your eyes. And the memories remain so fresh out here. No computer, no camera can ever compete with our brain, human brain, with that experience, and that whenever you think about that particular experience, you have a smile on your face. No photo can ever do that. So my only thing will be, yes, you can certainly follow me there, but please go out. And when you go out, this is another very important thing that I learned from I'm sure a common friend you would know, Kavita Joshi. Mm-hmm. So Kavita, she told me she's a solo traveler, and once she had mentioned that, Abu, when I say the word solo traveling, what comes to your mind? My obvious answer was solo traveling means traveling solo. It's given. And then she tells me that in solo traveling, you only start solo, but you come back with a lot of friends and a lot of memories. The same is with traveling as well. But when you are busy clicking pictures, you can't make memories. And interacting with the locals, submerging yourself needs some time because you also need to get deconditioned.
Yeah.
So that's my only request. You go solo. Forget. Go to places which does not have any Wi-Fi, but go mix with the people, break the bread. And you had mentioned such an important point about perspective. Learn perspective and you will be surprised. The world is so big and we are so small.
That's very well said and very relevant in today's day and age where a lot of the activities are directed particularly for social media. But we'll mention your social media in case they want to ask you for advice.
Absolutely.
On social media and connect with you. So thanks so much, Abu, again for coming on the India Chalo podcast. It was a pleasure having you here and looking forward to more such interactions over the coming few episodes as well, whenever you make your next trip.
Thank you so much for everyone who is listening to Rohan. Rohan has not paid me for this, okay? But I have to tell you, Rohan is one of the most hardworking guys that you will ever find. He is super authentic. So if you are following his channel, you are promoting someone who is hardworking. And we need more of such Rohans in the world. He's a true optimistic. One of the things that you will see is I am standing up and delivering. And it's because I got inspired by you, Rohan. Now, I used to see that in Toastmasters 2 hours meeting, you would stand up and deliver everything. That's how inspiring you are. You're doing an amazing and a commendable job. I wish you all the best. And may you get more followers than Neha Kakkar as well.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you saying that, Abu, and look forward to seeing you again. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much, Rohan. You take care of yourself. Please share the link and I'm going to post it on my social media as well. Okay?
Great.
Okay, then you take care. Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed my conversation with Abu, do give us a shout out. We are on Spotify, Castbox, iTunes, and wherever else you listen to the show. While you're at it, do also leave us a rating on Spotify because it helps us to get our content out to more and more people as they discover India in a new light. For more information on Vizag or to share your experiences, our DMs are always open on Instagram. We are on Instagram @India Chalo, and we love talking travel all day, all night, every day. So do leave us a message and we'll be happy to get in touch with you and talk travel with you. We love doing that, as you can guess from the show. Stay tuned. We have another very exciting episode coming up next week. So do stay tuned and let us know what you think of the show. Really excited for what we have in store for you. And stay tuned. Goodbye. See you soon.